conditioning people to be ready for a dirty bomb, atomic attack on a large metropolitan city. For the past couple of years, this show has been steadily conditioning you to believe that Al-Qaeda is likely to attempt to destroy America with a nuclear device. I've already had this show on Mojo Radio, talk radio for guys, AM 640, a couple weeks ago, I think. It's a view from space, I'm space. Anyway, Al-Qaeda threatens to set off a dirty bomb in New York City, February 2nd. And I was shocked to learn that this television series, Threat Matrix, aired a program last Thursday night, January 29th, in which this type of plot is presented as the exact scenario. On the official Threat Matrix site, they say this. Next episode, Thursday, January 29th, extremist makeover. In order to avert a deadly radioactive blast, the Threat Matrix team has to work with an unsure suspect to identify terrorists who, after plastic surgery, now have new faces. If you're not familiar with this program, by the way, here's another segment of the show's official website that blatantly shows conditioning for United States Homeland Security. And I quote, right off the site, Threat Matrix is a 1-hour drama about a highly specialized elite task force created to respond to the Threat Matrix Report, a document that is presented to the President every morning, identifying the current greatest threats to U.S. security. The team's mission is to keep the country safe from international and domestic threats, using their combined expertise, cutting-edge technology, to help them fight the many faces of terror and enemies determined to destroy our way of life, taking audiences behind the headlines and into the world of Homeland Security. Threat Matrix dramatizes what we are doing in the world of Homeland Security while we are doing it and whether or not it is working. You know, the last season's series of 24 revolved entirely around a thermonuclear device that was planned for a big city. And at the last moment, the heroes of the series fly the atomic device out into the desert where they blow it up relatively harmlessly. Americans are definitely being conditioned to a coming nuclear attack on one or more of their cities, either using a dirty bomb, radiological device, or an actual nuclear bomb. I'm sorry if I'm a little slow getting to your calls tonight on Mojo, because a little shortened show tonight, but a lot to get to you. I've already played all the commercials for the entire hour. And I'm sure each and every single person listening sat through them. I'm sure not one person tuned out because it was worth the minutes, not only to hear the messages, but worth the minutes to hear some truth. Someone coming out and saying what you're thinking. We're living in a virtual world. They're lying every chance they get to you. Conditioning you. Americans are being politically conditioned even for the most deadly part of the plan, and that is, as General Tommy Franks prophetically conditioned them not too long ago, when he said, if the United States is hit with a weapon of mass destruction that inflicts large casualties, the Constitution will likely be discarded in favor of a military form of government. We're talking martial law, battening down the hatches, kicking the draft in. And I think the conditioning process is picking up speed and intensity. They got Super Bowl Sunday coming up here, you know. They're not going to lift the terrorist alert to orange like they did at Christmas time. And yet British Airways and Air France yesterday, Saturday, announced cancellation of 7 flights to and from the States because of security concerns. BA canceled 4 flights between Heathrow and Washington on Sunday and Monday, the 2 days coming up here, and 1 from Heathrow to Miami on Sunday. Air France canceled 2 Paris to Washington flights. And this is crazy. This BA Flight 223 to Washington's Dulles Airport is not going to fly on Sunday, today, or tomorrow, Monday. It was to have taken off Saturday afternoon, but it didn't. And Flight 222 from Washington Dulles to London also was canceled for today and tomorrow. British Airways Flight 207 to Miami is not going to fly on Sunday. Today, Air France canceled Flight 026 from Paris to Washington today and tomorrow. Reasons of security. British Airways said they made their decision on the advice of the British government. Remember this British Airways Flight 223 was the big delay and cancellation story of the Christmas holidays when they had the orange Christmas. When the terrorist alert was cranked up to orange, it was canceled like twice because of security fears and then delayed for a bunch more. Several more times. Hi, Dan. It's the Spaceman on Mojo Radio, Talk Radio for Guys, AM 640. Go ahead.
Hi, John Space. Thanks for the public service.
Sure.
Have you heard of a new movie coming out called Fahrenheit 9/11?
That's the one with the... no, wait a minute. Fahrenheit, some other number, they burn books. This is
I think
Fahrenheit...
it was an old cartoon or something. It's the name of Michael Moore's new movie.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds interesting to me.
It certainly does.
Hey, have you ever read a book, heard of a book called The Huron Key?
Yeah.
Man, that's a fantastic book for anybody who wants any additional knowledge. It covers up so much of the stuff that you've talked about.
The man who designed and built the Solomon Temple.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about Egypt.
Yes.
It talks about Rome.
Right.
It talks about the life of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But in a whole different perspective than what we've been brought up on.
Right.
Amazing book. Illuminati.
See, he used sacred geometry to build that wonderful, beautiful temple called Solomon's Temple, which has been knocked down twice now and is going to be built for the 3rd time. And they need all of the numbers because sacred geometry.
This is the goal, right?
Pardon?
This is the goal, is to build.
Well, it's to the 3rd temple because that's when they can bring the Antichrist back, and then they have to have all the relics to go inside of it because it has to be perfect, right? It has to be the exact dimensions that were the original dimensions. So they have to get the exact books. So that's why they're in Iraq to get these relics and the Babylonian Talmud, which has all the numbers in it.
The book speaks of what you're talking of.
Sure.
Castles.
Mm-hmm.
Roslyn. You spoke about Roslyn.
Yeah, Roslyn Chapel. Sure. That's, I think, where they're still... I believe the Illuminati is storing all their relics there in the basement. You can't go near that place.
Covenant and all the religious artifacts anyhow, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
But, here's the thing with I think the whole American election is being staged because if Al Gore was anywhere to be seen, it's a shoo-in that he would become...
Well, of course.
he was given an
didn't you
opportunity.
not know? Did you not know that they demonized the only outsider, which was Dean? And I mean, it's been played over 1 million times.
I think they've been paid off.
You know, we're going to take back that whole rant that he did. They
Yeah,
demonized that guy. In 24 hours, they flushed him. John Kerry is a skull and bones. He has 3 Purple Hearts, believe it or not, sir. 3 Purple Hearts, the highest award that you can get in America. He has he has vets that were on his ship with him, following him around, doing these dissertations to him at each and every one of his campaign stops. John Kerry is Illuminati. So they've got one of the two. Go ahead.
So he's going to be just another player in this. He's going to be an actor in this role that has to be carried out by himself.
Absolutely.
Which is to look like he's
Wesley Clark also a Rhodes Scholar.
Right on. It's all predetermined.
Oh yes, definitely.
My guess
absolutely
is pushes back in.
Yes, I was just talking about the virtual world that they've got us living in.
Yeah. Hey, I want to have one more castle
question. Go ahead.
One more castle question for you. This book I read, I believe it was called The Second Messiah. What you're talking about has all been done before in history. And it was even closer to fruition in World War II.
Right.
Because it came so close to happening. They built this castle.
Hitler thought he was the Antichrist.
Right on. So here's this castle.
And they realized he wasn't.
They had photographed this castle. It's kind of like Roswell, except it's like the Antichrist castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's round. It has it's almost like something it is something that you would see in a cult ritual, because it's a round building, has steps coming down, about 4 or 5 different doors, entering into this basement pit where there's an eternal flame. This picture is in this book with two soldiers, German soldiers, standing there. This was supposed to be somewhere geographically in the middle of the world, in this particular place in Germany, this town that was built, and this was going to be the meeting place of the higher ups. But one of the
probably the Black Forest then.
Yeah, it was a Bavarian member of the Illuminati, apparently, that came up with some of the ideas that Hitler used during World War II to
he was schooled by the Thule Society. Google that sometime, Thule. Oh, and speaking of search engines, Microsoft is about to put their own search engine out there on the next platform. I believe it's called Longhorn.
I'm laughing at all these viruses because I have a Mac, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how about that?
And I was just one of the lucky ones, because I like to use computers way before when DOS was still out. I just couldn't handle DOS, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's a fantastic book to hear him keen, and for the listeners. And hey, we're all in mourning a bit, and you know why I'm talking about that. I'm not going to get into it, right?
Right.
We're in a little bit more of mourning this week because we lost a partnership there with you. You guys had it back-to-back, 2 good shows going on.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I know you got big shoulders, brother, and keep it away from the local stuff. And we're going to be on for a little while longer, I hope.
Thank you for the call, Dan. Thank you so much. It's Mojo Radio, Talk Radio for Guys, AM 640. Hello, Justin.
Spaceman, how are you doing?
Nice.
Listen, I got a few things here. First of all, about America.
Yeah.
America, the nation itself, is represented by a woman. What you were saying about Colombia there in Ishtar, that was interesting, because if you look at the nation itself, in terms of numerology, the number 13 is also very significant for the U.S. also. If you look at the original flag, there was 13 stripes, 13 stars. Mm-hmm. There's also 13 colonies.
Correct.
That number is very significant for the U.S.
That is for sure. And you know what? Every single cult, every occult gathering has 12 members and a leader.
Yep.
Adding to 13.
Now, you know what? I want to go on a little bit about what possibly could happen February 2nd.
All right, sir.
Now, have you heard of a prophet, a religious man by the name of William Marion Branham?
No.
This man was a religious speaker. He was an evangelist during the 60s, and he made a prophecy.
Give us the spelling, Justin, and then tell the story.
Well, William Marion Branham, actually,
Branham is good. Spell Branham for me.
Branham is spelled Branham. It's 7 letters.
All right, go ahead.
William Marion Branham is spelled 777, the name itself. Now, this man, when he made this prophecy, he made it to his son, Billy Paul Branham.